Hello, welcome to today's episode of the Quiet Mind and Soul podcast. This is a podcast where you can get some tips and some assurance that you are just normal as you are, and you can reconnect with your true self. And that is exactly what we are going to be talking about today's episode of how we are not being our true selves. And so if you'd like to know how to drop that mask and live in alignment with your true self, stick around and let's get this started. So today I'm recording in a very different environment. Probably you're hearing some cars passing by, some construction work. It's because today I'm in a different setting. I'm not in my living room. I'm just having my lunch break outside actually. And I came here to just clear my mind and see the flowers, see the bees just surrounding the flowers, and I'm trying to get away from the bees. I just wanted to have this moment to really talk to you guys about how we are not being our true selves and how we are just putting up this mask and pretending to be someone that we think we should be and not that person that we really are inside. And why do we do this? So some of the reasons why we do this, the first reason I would say is fear. We are afraid that we are going to be rejected if we don't really embrace who we are, and if we show who we are, people will reject us and will think that we're weird or we're just not very good to be around, or not fun, or not smart enough, or all of these other limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, that they're not true, let me tell you that. And so we have this idea that if we show ourselves to the world, somehow we are getting rejected, and so obviously we want to avoid being rejected, and so we mask ourselves up. And that's very convenient now that we're in the COVID situation. Now we have another thing protecting us from the outside world, and especially for a lot of introverts, they are really enjoying this moment because you get to cover your face from the world. I'm enjoying in the sense that I don't have to fake smile to people. I can just have my resting face and not having to smile just because I have to be polite. So that's the first reason would be fear. Because somehow we think that if we show ourselves our true colors, we are not going to be polished enough, we are not going to be eloquent enough, or bus coming through, or we will not be accepted as we are, basically. And we were conditioned by our family members and our friends. Oh, don't do that. Oh, and especially me growing up, I was always called a good girl. So it was always, oh, you're such a good girl, so quiet, so well behaved, and that was always stuck to my brain. And so when I grew up, I thought that I had to be, up until maybe 5, maybe even less, 4 months ago, I thought that that's how I had to be accepted in a society. I had to be this good girl that is always perfect or very close to perfect, never has a meltdown in front of everyone, is always polite, always has a word of just being happy, and is always helping others and making others happy and looking happy as she does it. But in essence, it's not how it is. People perceive me as very confident and very calm and very a lot of things that they think about me that sometimes is not actually like that. And I think for a lot of introverts it is like that. So we are perceived in a way that in our minds people say, oh, you're so shy, you're so quiet, but in essence our mind is full, very full. We full of thoughts, full of fears, full of desires that we don't let out because again we are afraid of what other people might think, and so we just bottle them up, and up until a point that we can't hold them anymore, and that's when we have those meltdowns. And if you know anything about personality traits, that's how we call the INFJ door slam. That is when you just one moment you're good and the next one you're just burned out completely, because we don't show that we are in that process of burning out. And so another bus. And so when we are when we get to this stage that people see us actually burnt out, it's because we are very at our maximum level, that we can't hold it anymore and we are just tired of everything. And at that stage I would just wish that I could stop existing at some time. At some point, it's nothing related to suicidal thoughts or anything. It's really just wanted some silence and some quiet. And this happens when, at least for me, when I'm being surrounded by a lot of energy, people's energies, and I'm absorbing that energy, because it's very exhausting to be always protecting myself from that energy, outside energy, like I mentioned a couple of episodes ago. And so sometimes it's exhausting and you let your guard down and all of your emotion comes flooding. You start crying and all of this meltdown, that when people see you have it, people that don't know you that well, don't know you at all, right? If you're not showing your true colors, they are very surprised. They never thought that you were like that and that you had these thoughts and these emotions inside you, and you let them out, and that is your real self. And that is we are emotional beings. At least for me, I'm very emotional, very sensitive, and so that is who I really am, very intuitive. People say, oh, you're all about woo-woo. Yes, I am all about woo-woo. I enjoy all of these meditations and crystals and energy and all of that. And that is something that I had to bottle up for a long time, because none of my friends did that. And it wasn't something that was accepted in my culture, because we saw the people that think like I think, they were named witches or fortune tellers, and they were seen as very weird people. And now I'm ready to embrace my weirdness, and I'm ready to do and live the life like I really want to, because I've tried the other way and it didn't work out so nice. I cannot lie. It has worked out in the sense that I have a career. I built my career as a biomedical scientist. I'm independent. At the age of 25, I can say that I don't depend on anyone, absolutely anyone, to live my life. I have a loving partner. I have a house. I cycle. That's the thing that I like the most. Cycling to work, not having to drive like I used to, having to drive 1 hour in the traffic. Now I get to cycle to work. So that's amazing for me. So yeah, a lot of things in my life work out just perfectly, or just like they should be. And another thing, so I think that this is just a process, and this is all of these steps got me to exactly where I want to be, and that is exactly today. And it is to gather all of the learnings from knowing exactly what not to do and who not to be, to actually be who I'm meant to be. So I am meant to be this person that sits and helps you get through any emotional blocks that you have, and I'm that person that gives you not advice, I would say, but just guides you to the process. That's why I've decided to become a coach, because I've always liked to help people, but I felt like that should be my career and my full-time job, because it's something that gives me energy instead of draining my energy. And so yeah, I've just embraced who I really am, and embraced and forgave and accepted that I was not being myself. I was being who my family wanted me to be. I was being who I thought my partner wanted me to be, because this is just we build ourselves the way that we think people think we are. So it's very confusing. It goes through a process that we don't even know exactly how to explain. And so now it's the time to revert that process back to ourselves and really understand who is in charge of that process of building who you are, and that is you. And I am in charge of building exactly who I want to be and exactly who I am, and embracing who I am. And that's why my job is just empowering people to know their true value and to reconnect with themselves and love them again. Love exactly as they are, embrace exactly as they are, and build the future selves that they want to have. And at the same time, just healing the past and healing all of the scars that they might have, the things that they don't like about themselves or that they think they shouldn't be. And that is my passion, really, to make people and help people, guide people to the process of really embracing who they are, because no one else will be exactly like you are. And that is amazing. That is amazing. And it's so funny because I never felt understood, and I never felt like I belong. And it was when I started to feel like I belonged, when I discovered that I was an INFJ, and I found this community of people that think very similar to me. And I said, okay, now I'm understood. And then I always wanted to be like people, and at that stage where I discovered that I was like people, I said, okay, now I need to find my own identity and distinguish myself from these people. So it was really funny that in order to find myself and find my own identity, I had to fit in with a group and then decide that I wanted to step away from that group in a way. So yeah, it was funny realization that I'm having just now. So yeah, find yourself first and find your crew. And once you find your crew, and once you find people who think like you, because let's face it, this our planet exists for millions and millions of years. Humankind exists for millions of years. So we know that what was I going to say? I was just getting away from a bee. Oh yes. So we are not very special. We are not unique. We are special in our own way, but it's not like the way that we think was never thought before. We are not here to reinvent the wheel. So every thought that you have, someone somewhere somehow already had. That's why you have a reference for it. So let's not just think that we are so unique to the point that no one thinks like I think, no one understands me, I'm alone in the world. That's just playing the victim, really. So let's take charge of our lives and take charge of our thoughts and find our crew somehow. I really recommend doing the personality type test. That was really my turning point, and just finding the criteria and the things the rules and the things that I live by. Essentially, a lot of things matched up. Doesn't mean that it will for you. It doesn't. If you don't believe at all in this, that's completely okay. To me, it helped me. And so just find your crew, and then from that, and when you have that sense of belonging and sense of understanding, then you can find what distinguishes you from them and what makes you special and makes you unique. Because even though you are in the group, you will have some characteristics that are completely different and unique to you, and that is where you're going to succeed in your life. That is what a partner, if you don't have any or if you do, that's what they love about you, and that's what they will love about you. Your friends, you'll start to attract people who think alike and who love how you think and who will love you for who you really are. And then your family will understand because they love you unconditionally, and if they do, well, it's you have to be surrounded by people who love you, not people by love the idea of you. And the same goes to partners and friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. And in business, that is going to make you different. So if you wish to get some financial independence, if you're trying to make your own business, and that is going to distinguish you, that your input on your brand and your input on your business, that is going to make it or break it. Basically, that is going to distinguish your business, and that is going to make it real and you, basically, and align with your values and who you really are. And it's going to come easy for you. It's going to come very easy to make business like that, because you don't have to pretend. Because a lot of times we have full-time jobs where we have to put up this mask, literally and figurative. Oh my God, such a difficult that word. You understand? And we have to put up this mask where we have to sell, or we have to be super understanding team member, or we have to put up this facade that is not who we really are, and people don't really know our real personality. And so when you're starting to build your business, you can make it as good or as bad as you want it. Because you are the sole responsible, and that can be scary as well. But it's when you embrace who you really are that you will succeed the most. Because even though you have 1 million people doing the exact same thing as you are doing, no one will really do it as you do it, because you have your own set of energies and your own set of values and ideas that no one will come up with, because no one lived your life and they don't know your past experiences. So yeah, that's the idea that I have for you today. Today is a shorter episode, and if you'd like to know more on how to reconnect with your true self and really embrace who you really are with no fear, well, I cannot promise with no fear, because I am afraid still of a lot of things, but I pushed through them. So yeah, if you're wanting to push through the fear with confidence and build your self-love and reconnect with your real self, so that you don't have to pretend to be someone else that you're actually not, and you can be living in alignment with your values, I would recommend that you go to my Instagram, where I have more material, and you can DM me. So my Instagram at Coach Joana Calado. I will leave the information in the show notes, so you can click and you can connect with me, and I would love to help you. So I will see you next time. Goodbye.